wrong with her. She was like,
I'm the most well-adjusted person.
she was
here.
like, you got stung by bees again? Here. You know?
I know. She was like the only, like the only
She
well-adjusted
was so
person.
well adjusted. I was like, how come she the only one chilling in the family? And why can't you stay away from the bees? Her husband was so sweet, but it was just
That
always
is like, why are you constantly around where they are?
I was like, he got a swollen face like twice. But he basically, I like that he picked the same rhythm, and they all sing a melody that's totally different, but it's all under the same bass tone. And I saw this video which like separate, anyway, I listen to these kind of things. But it was very interesting how they separated the songs up. And I just thought it was so unique that if you took them apart, it's like, oh, I thought something was changing when they all sang their parts. But it wasn't. Everything was still in time. He just made sure he fit that each part that one of the family members sang was like was authentic to the character that they were. Yeah. You know, so of course Peppa and Felix had a little dance because they were married, they were together. And then, you know, Dolores had like a little rap and with a mumble on it because she talks so softly because she can hear everything.
That was funny because like when I went back and watched it like the second time. Because I'm like, when I watched it the first time, I was like, how does Dolores hear everything but didn't know that Bruno was in the house? But then I heard when they were singing like the song and everything, she was like, I can hear him even.
Yeah,
like,
you see the mumbling.
She did.
So and then at the end of the thing, she said that she did like a jab to somebody. She's like, see, I know he never left. I heard him all the time. I was like. But because the family said she never saw him, that's the issue. Because she could hear him. Yeah. Because he was in the house the whole time. It's so crazy. Anyway, and I like how the Camilo's character, his was so dramatic because he's like he shapeshifts. He's like a dramatic person. He was just all like, you know, scary Bruno, you know. It was funny. And then, you know, of course, Isabella's perfect. So hers was like, my life. It was very interesting. I just liked it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still on. I know we've already done Encanto last week, but I'm still on Encanto. The music, I can't get it on my brain.
It's just so amazing. It was beautiful.
I want to talk about Bruno. No, yes. I want to talk about Bruno. You know what's so funny that I saw? Kev on stage, the comedian. He was going off about. He loved Encanto, but he was going off. He was like, "Nah, man, we need to do something because Abuela was really the problem. You should have been like, we don't talk about Abuela." I was like, yes, you better tell him. We don't talk about Abuela. It was hilarious. I was laughing the whole time. Because he was like, nah, Bruno was just trying to tell her this. He's like, it's not his fault that he was trying to tell her something. You're going to see it. It's on Instagram.
Like, I'm just delivering the message here. Don't shoot the messenger.
That's exactly what he said. He was like, don't shoot the messenger. And I was just laughing because I was like,
some of the
it's
stuff,
so
it's
true.
Like, it could go either way, but you guys wanted to go all doom and gloom.
I know. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bola, Triple F Queen.
And it's No Tagline Whitney here.
And we are BlerdTalk. Why did I say it like that? We are BlerdTalk with Bola and Whitney. What's up? Yeah, we back for another episode. How y'all doing? How y'all living?
How you doing?
How you doing? I hope you guys are all safe, especially with all this, you know, sickness going around. Yes. Be safe, everybody's. But yes, we are here for an awesome new episode. Tell them what we talking about, Whitney.
We are talking about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Dun, 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 dun.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man does. Oh. Okay. I heard it that way one time.
Or rather, the one that I came up with. Spider-Man, oh, ready or not, you Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man. You know, the animated one from like the 90s. Oh. No, and it's like, oh, wait, it wasn't Spider-Man. It was like Spider-Blood.
Was it the one that went that one? Well, it was only music. I never heard the...
I mean, it was mostly
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. That one. Right? Yeah. It was mostly that guitar riff that I remember.
Yeah. It was mostly music, but then there was someone in the background saying like Spider-Man, Spider-Man. You know what's so funny?
I never heard that part, but I remember the... That's my guitar riff, y'all.
But that's the one that I was more familiar with. But of course, you know, everybody's heard of the old school Spider-Man, Does whatever a spider can. I don't know the rest of it.
I like mine does whatever Spider-Man does. But I think that was on a comedy. So that's why I like saying it. But yes, y'all, we are talking about like this behemoth of a movie.
No Way Home.
It's blowing up, y'all. Like it blew up and it's still blowing up and it's
is.
like everybody's favorite movie right now. Spider-Man is just so beloved, you know?
It is.
I don't know what it is, and I hate spiders. But I remember growing up, I loved watching the Spider-Man cartoons. And I loved watching the X-Men cartoons. My God.
Spider-Man and the X-Men cartoons.
I was down for Spider-Man every day, Spider-Man, X-Men. And I loved I remember I used to love the guy's voice that played Peter Parker on that. I don't know who he was, but he had the most delicious voice. I guess that's why I've always had a thing for voices. You could be the ugliest person in the world, but your voice... I'm sorry, not ugly. Facially challenged.
Okay.
No, I don't like to say people's is uglies, but facially challenged. But your voice could be everything. Be like, can you just talk some more and look the other way?
Oh, wow.
All right, anyway, before we get into Spider-Man No Way Home, we are going to blurt out, and I'm going to let Whitney go first.
Oh, okay. I'm actually blurting out about quite a few things. I've just
Quite a few things.
So I went and saw Spider-Man with my friend Todd. Shout out to Todd. What's up,
Hey,
Todd?
Todd, what's up?
So, like, afterwards, Todd is, like, my number one friend to be able to talk about, like, horror movies and series with.
Yeah, it's not me. I can't do that with her.
Bullet won't do it. So, like, that's the only person. But we're, like, really into it. So, like, we were talking about, actually, I need to watch Cabin in the Woods. That was another one he suggested, which
That's
I
an
haven't
old
watched
one,
yet.
right?
Yeah, it's not new, but I haven't seen it. But, like, I was just on a horror movie and series binge this weekend afterwards. Like, so I watched...
Can you sleep? Are you okay?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Like, most, like, horror movies for me aren't, like, super duper creepy. Other than, like, The Grudge and, like, The Ring, movement is what creeps me out. Like, people with that you know, they
contortion,
that really weird,
yeah. Oh, God,
that creeps me out. But like the creature things, even though people do like a really good job on them, that's not like what really sticks with me. It doesn't, like, you know, it's not like I can't get to sleep after it.
You good, because I can't. The Nigerian in me, I can't. You so superstitious about this or that, and they'll be like, "Ooh, blood of Jesus," have to be like you have to have holy water everywhere, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. I couldn't tolerate him. I watched Jason or something, Freddy Krueger, when I was 5, and I just couldn't take it.
Now that's one I don't think I've ever seen all of it.
Girl, I don't remember. I just remember hiding under the pillows. I'm now just like, nah, never again. And I couldn't. I still can't.
Yeah, so Todd recommended this movie called Eli to me. That's like a Netflix movie.
Oh,
and it's a
Book
horror.
of Eli?
No, Eli.
Okay.
It's horror.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So I watched that. It was pretty good. And then I was like just on a whole horror bent from then. And then I watched like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is now on Netflix, which is... I call it a Guillermo del Toro movie. I think he was the writer, so I can still call it a Guillermo del Toro. Because some of the stuff I like that I associate with Guillermo del Toro, he's not necessarily the director or the writer, but maybe he was like a producer or something. So if his name is attached to it, I'm like, it's a Guillermo del Toro thing. It's going to be good.
Was The Shape of Water horror?
I would say no.
Okay.
I would say no.
Because some Guillermo del Toro things I can do.
I think
it's not that bad.
I think
he is a little more on the macabre. I can do some macabre.
I associate his like horror stuff as being some of the best because his stuff is always storyline.
Yeah, I didn't mind the Labyrinth. I wasn't scared in that. Pan's Labyrinth, excuse me.
I mean, Pan's Labyrinth was like part horror, but it was also part kind of like fantasy and stuff. So it's like it was kind of like a mix of different genres.
I remember I watched the whole thing without feeling any kind of way.
Sweet. But yeah, like the creature, like he's an awesome, like with the creatures and stuff. Because that thing with like the hands with the like eyes. I was like, that is awesome. That is an awesome character creature design.
But it was designed well.
Yeah. But like, so I watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark on Netflix. I rewatched Insidious. And then I watched Insidious Chapter 2. And then I watched Insidious Chapter 3.
Oh my gosh, all this insidiousness.
Yeah. And then, like, something, I guess Netflix knew I was on a horror binge. So they were like, well,
watch this.
So I saw this this movie. It's actually a movie trilogy that just came out last year called Fear Street. And the first one was Fear Street 1994, and then it was Fear Street 1978, and then it was Fear Street 1666. But it was like this trilogy of movies that they made. And apparently it was based on an R.L. Stein book, which I didn't read a whole bunch of
R.L. Stein
because, you know, I was
People
mostly
only know
fantasy.
about Goosebumps.
Yeah, I know about Goosebumps. But I think when they saw it at the end that it was based on the book, I was like, I think I do remember hearing about it. I just never read them. But it was pretty cool. It was like it wasn't like a super, super horror to like a Guillermo del Toro type of horror or anything like that. I feel like it was kind of a little bit more on the fun side. Not exactly, but like it was like a slasher / horror movie because there was like ghosts and stuff like that, and like witches and junk. But it was like fun. It was like, people are coming and getting like
murked
in very creative ways. Like, there they go.
Like
it
throwing
wasn't
them
like
in a wood chipper or something.
You're gonna be like the whole time, like, oh my god. It's like one of those ones you're just waiting for somebody to get murked.
Whitney, is that what you do?
No, but it's like, I feel like it's almost more of like the kind of fun horror, if you know what I'm talking about, the ones where you're just waiting for the person to get axed.
Okay, so
you're
the ones
like, I know they're gonna get it. I'm just waiting to see how.
Okay.
It's like one of those. So it was actually a really fun watch. Those like the trilogy. So like, if somebody's not seen it, and Todd, if you're listening, you should check out the Fear Street trilogy because it was a fun watch.
Okay, and I know Todd will listen. Hey,
yeah,
one of our listeners.
Then I actually bought The Orphanage because it's one of my favorite horror movies. I don't even know if it's okay. So yes, it is definitely horror because it's got ghosts. But it's hard to say if that's the main genre. I feel like it's probably almost more so in the drama department, but it's like one of my favorite horror movies, and it's a Guillermo del Toro one, or at least I think he produced it, but I love that movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies because the story that Guillermo del Toro puts in, and he usually has some type of family bent to it, like a mother's love for their children or something like that that's coming through as like a main I don't know, like topic or something in the movie. I just love that about his stuff. So I bought The Orphanage, and then I rewatched that because you can't really find it on something just the streaming. You had to buy it. Then I watched this thing on HBO Max called Mama, which was a horror one.
That one's with
what's her Jessica Chastain. And it's funny, me and Todd were just talking about Jessica Chastain.
It doesn't have what's that black lady's name?
No, you're thinking of Ma.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, this is Mama.
What is her name? I'm so mad I'm blanking on her name.
Octavia Spencer.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's Ma, which is I think more of a suspense, like a thriller type of horror, because like it's like I think it's more of like that
slasher.
Was probably more of a
she was killing the kids,
thriller.
right?
I think so. I haven't seen it, but yeah,
like crazy.
So I wouldn't say, I don't know if those are considered horror exactly, if slashers are considered horror, because it's certainly horrific if someone gets slashed up, but it's like if it doesn't have like a ghost, a zombie, a witch, a werewolf, or a vampire, I don't think it's necessarily considered.
Well, then, if we're looking at these monsters, then are you saying is the Twilight horror? Because I would not call that horror at all.
I mean, I would say horror is not its overall genre, but I think anytime it has one of those creatures, it's kind of automatically in the horror genre. Though that might not be like the prevalent.
I always think it's the ghosts, monsters, and or a lot of killing. That's what I always think. I don't know.
It's hard. Like, things get, like, really murky just because, you know, things can be in different categories. But I think anytime you have one of those creatures, it kind of automatically goes into...
I'm already like, can we talk about something else?
Twilight, like, it's, like, higher... like, it's more prevalent, I guess, genre is probably romance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. But because they're vampires...
it's like monster romance. The Monster Bash.
We did the bash. We
did the Monster Bash. The Monster Bash. I'm so glad you know that song.
I love that song.
Okay, that is good. Okay, so
let me make sure I didn't miss any. I think because I binged through a lot.
Oh my god.
No,
I would not be able to sleep.
Oh wait. And then I also rewatched Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which is another Guillermo del Toro one, also on HBO Max.
I used to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? Nickelodeon. Did you ever watch that?
I did watch that before. Like, it wasn't like, I wasn't
they
that,
were never that
the
scary.
only one of those that were scary to me. Well, not scary, but that like stayed with me, like creeped me out was the Scarecrow one. But I think that Scarecrows, well, not all of them, but most Scarecrows that you see in like movies, like if it's got a horror bent, are like pretty creepy to me.
I remember
anyway.
I used to avoid those shows because I was such a fearful of anything scary. And then I remember I started watching them as I got a little older, and I was like, oh, these are not that bad. They're just kind of weird. And then I started watching like So Weird on Disney Channel. And then it was just like that was about paranormal stuff, which was not scary to me. And then I'm like, okay, that stuff I could do.
Do you remember Erie, Indiana?
No, I don't.
Oh, you didn't watch that?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I used to like Erie, Indiana.
Isn't that like a lake, Erie? One of our lakes.
Yeah, there is a Lake Erie, but this one was about like supernatural stuff that would like be happening
in one town or something.
Yeah, and like in that particular town. I don't know if it would be considered horror or not, or just like sci-fi, fantasy or whatnot, or paranormal or whatnot. But I think I remember liking that show. It's been so long.
Okay.
Okay. I think I liked it.
Well, we are gonna put a list of all the horror series and the Insidiousness and the what was the other trilogy you mentioned? Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm just joking. No, we're gonna put a list of all of them on our show notes. I will definitely do that for you guys. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. So can we go to what I'm blurting out about, and I can shake off this like. I have goosebumps. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. No. I'm glad that you talk about what you like because it's what you like. I like Ben Barnes, and you hate when I talk about him.
I don't hate it. It's just like him again.
I know. I feel like that when you talk about Teen Wolf, because now my sister's been talking about Teen Wolf.
Really?
Because she listened to our show.
Oh my god!
And she's like,
tell Shasha she really needs
Wolf.
to watch. She's gonna love it. Like it's so good.
And I brought it up.
You would actually love it if
I've seen some of Teen Wolf, and it was good.
And the story.
I just didn't watch all of it.
Like the writer of it, the creator of Teen Wolf is the same guy who created what is it?
I remember Teen Wolf with
Not
the
Person of Interest. It's
what's his name? Oh Lord, I forgot his name.
Criminal Minds. He created Criminal Minds. But he is like the storytelling throughout, like every season, just like up.
How many seasons is it?
I think it was 6. It's hard to tell because some seasons they broke into 2 halves, but the halves could have been like self-contained. So it's hard for me to remember exactly how many seasons. But like every single one, like it was just so good. It never flagged. It
never like
went down. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Which is one of the things I loved about it. And I loved their characters. Like, the character development, like, the character, like, the work they put into making the characters, like, dynamic. I love it. You would love it, too.
And I remember...
You would love the things that I recommend that you never take a look at or read.
Why are you coming at me again, Whitney? It's my blurred out time.
That's okay.
It's my blurred out time.
My Christmas gift to Todd was the Dark Angel series.
Oh my God! Don't do that, Whitney.
So now
look at that. You're gifting just from your own. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, Todd actually expressed an interest in them, and they're hard. They're not like most of them aren't in print, so they're harder to find now. So I was like, oh, if you're interested in them, then don't get it. Cause like
I'm gonna get it for you.
Yeah, and I was like, "Here you go."
Did he like them?
Like, this is for both of us, actually.
I swear, you just remind me of my friend Chadney, who was just like, when I told her to watch Half and Half, the TV show I'm watching on Netflix, and she was like, "Are you gonna watch Money Heist? Because if you're not gonna watch Money Heist, I ain't gonna watch this." I was like, "Dang," because she's been trying to get me to watch Money Heist for a couple years now, and I know they like just ended or about to end.
I've heard that's a good
show. I
started
haven't gone back, so it's like it's taking a little bit for me to get pulled in.
While I'm thinking about it, and before I forget, do you know if Parasite will ever be dubbed? Because I really want my mom to see it, but she doesn't feel like reading subtitles. You
could check and see if they have dubbed versions on Hulu. I don't know, maybe to check the settings.
Like the Hulu one that was on there, it was just subtitled.
Did you see if it's on Netflix? Because sometimes Netflix will have it dubbed.
Well, I know when we actually watched it, it was only on Hulu.
Yeah, it got popular, so you might want to check Parasite because Netflix. You might want to check Netflix for Parasite to see if they have a version of it. Because I don't know if it's on Hulu anymore. Usually they don't. Both of the streaming apps don't like to have the same thing on each one. But in case it's not on Hulu anymore, I would check there because Netflix probably the only place that would dub it because I don't think Hulu does that. Unless she checks
I think she would really. In
it's
fact,
very
my
interesting.
brother might like it too.
It's very interesting,
but, like,
crazy movie. Like,
but I just know, like, because I tried to tell, I was like, "Why don't we watch this?" She was like, "Oh, subtitles."
Oh my gosh, Mom, you gotta watch some subtitles. You miss out on some good stuff.
Sometimes
stuff.
She can do subtitles, but like Lupin, she watched all of that the dubbed version.
Well, yeah, because it's available.
She didn't even realize that it was not in French.
That's how I'm not gonna lie. That's how good they're doing with the dubbing because. I knew that Money Heist was in Spanish from Spain, and I watched it in English, and I wasn't, like, I could see the dubbing, I could see that it was dubbed, but I wasn't bothered. It was, like, really on it. And at the time, I just didn't feel like reading subtitles, even though I don't mind reading subtitles. I just didn't feel like, I just wanted to watch it and get what the show was about. I got you,
especially if it's, like,
I was tired in the day that night. I was so tired. I just wanted to watch something new and different.
I don't have the energy to, like, try to be reading at the same time that I'm watching. I need to be able to just absorb. But so no, I know what you mean. But yeah, I would really. I'm gonna have to make a note to myself to check that out because I really want her to see that. But she's not feeling
the subtitles. Oh man, she won't watch a Bollywood movie then because they definitely never dub those.
I think she's watched a Bollywood movie with me before. No, actually, you know what? I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure.
You know, we never reviewed a Bollywood movie. Let's plan off stage. Anyway, I said off stage.
I kind of want to go back to some of the old school ones, the ones that you used to introduce me, the gateway drugs that you gave me.
Yes, they're so good. I love me some international
and
film.
some like some of the K-dramas, like the old school ones that you got me into, like Coffee Prince, Personal Taste. I really want to rewatch those.
There's some really good new
Boys
ones,
Over.
girl.
Oh my God, Boys Over.
I really want you to watch Itaewon Class. Like that is a boss Korean drama. Like it's really good. Okay, let me get into my blurred out. It's totally unrelated, y'all. All right, so
blurting out about Bola.
Well, I didn't really have one that was really that prevalent this year. I mean, this week. But I did take a quiz. You guys. So we are blurds, and I was thinking about our show and thinking about like what is the essence of blurdiness. Was there a quiz I could take about being blurred? Because I think I was thinking about Harry Potter quizzes and figuring out that I forgot what my Patronus was. But I remember my Hogwarts house, Gryffindor all day. Anyway.
Hufflepuff.
And then I looked and I came across a BuzzFeed quiz that said, what percentage nerdy are you? And I was immediately intrigued. So, y'all, I took this quiz while I was in church. God forgive me. You know my heart. Anyway, but I took it while I don't know why I was in church Googling it. But I was taking the test. Lord forgive me. Anybody who hears, they're going to be like, really? When you're supposed to be listening to God. Because that's how the Nigerians will talk to me. They'll be like, that's what you are doing in the house of the Lord. Anyway, but I took this quiz and I got a percentage. But I want to do this quiz on the air with Whitney so that she can take the quiz, and I want to compare our percentages. So I took a screenshot of what mine would say. Okay. So I want to see what what percentage you would get.
Okay.
So you ready, Whitney?
I'm ready.
We're going to play a game, y'all.
Let's do this.
What percentage nerdy aren't you? Bing, bing, bing. That's a really weak song, but it's okay. I don't have sound effects right now.
We'll throw this in the show notes, you guys.
Yeah, so you all can take one, and you all take one, and let us know your percentages. Will be fun. All right.
Sweet.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's do this. Get to the chopper.
All right. So when it comes to Harry Potter, I've read the books, duh. B, I've read the books and I've seen all the movies. C, I've only seen the movies. Or D, I've read a few books and seen a few movies. Or E, I'm not really into Harry Potter.
B, movies and books.
All right. Okay. Have you ever spent part of your weekend reading a good book? A, definitely. B, part of my weekend, I've marathon books for an entire weekend before. C, I think I have occasionally. Or D, no.
Girl, I have marathon. I have had my entire weekend. Take it up. Yes, B.
Me too. I've done it. Even now with audiobooks, I did it with the Shadow and Bone series. I was just going, and the Children of Blood and Bone. I just got really into those.
I have done it the same way.
A
I've
whole
done TV
weekend.
Shows. I will be 4 a.m. in the morning. I'll just get to the next chapter.
Harry Potter, the only one I've done that for. If it's so good, you just gotta keep going, right?
My eyes start burning, and I'm like, okay, let me just
pitching. Have you ever been to a comic book convention? A, that's the dream. B, yes. C, I'm not against it, or D, nah.
I think that BlerdCon and Otakon could be considered
I think
comic
so,
book
too.
movies. So yes, whichever letter that
I got
was.
you.
Okay.
All right. Would you ever dress up for a comic book convention?
Yes, I would.
Hell yeah.
That's my hells yeah. I
Okay.
want to. I just keep like.
We're not even gonna read the other one. Just, hell yeah is one of the options. Okay. What does your bookshelf currently look like? A, it's overflowing with dozens of books. B, I have my favorites there. C, it's basically rivals a bookstore. Or D, I have some of my own and some books I've borrowed from friends.
Overflowing because now I've got 2 bookcases.
Okay. That's it. All right.
And not like shelves, you guys. These are bookcases.
Yeah, she does. I've seen them, and they're really nice.
Thank you.
All right. Have you ever watched Doctor Who? A.
Love Doctor Who.
A. I'm about to just give you the hell yes.
Hells to the yes.
Okay, we're just gonna go to that.
None
one.
of the old school stuff. I started like. The
I don't think
original
anybody
Doctor Who,
really watched the old ones. People
I mean,
are all into the new ones.
Hardcore ones, they really like the. I think it's like the 4th Doctor or whatever, the one with like the scarf. People are like seem to be really into him if they're like if they've watched all of them.
The old school
but
ones.
I tried to watch the old school one.
It's just too much.
Yeah, it was too much. It was like the
Britishness.
It wasn't the Britishness. It was just the time period. Like if you watched it.
Was it like bad with the graphics, like with Dune 1984?
Yeah. It was that type of thing where when the TARDIS appeared, you could clearly see that they did like that it was like a miniature.
I love that.
And I was like, I just can't.
I love it.
I
No, it's like we're
like,
so spoiled.
I love Clash of the Titans, which was made in the 70s, but I guess because I watched it then, it doesn't like I still love it now. But there's just some stuff where if you didn't watch it when you were younger,
you
like,
can't watch it now.
You
You're
just
like,
can't do it. Yeah.
That happened to me with watching Pepper Ann. I used to love Pepper Ann, the cartoon, and then I always try to get my nieces to watch stuff that I used to like Doug and Heron. I'm like, this is what you should be watching instead of that nonsense you guys watch. And they did not like Pepper Ann at all. And then I was watching, and I was like, this first season is really not that great. What's going on here? I was bored too. I took it off and be like, let's watch a movie you guys want to watch.
Some stuff doesn't hold up, but then some stuff really does. Like, I'm trying to think of something.
Oh, let me get to the next question.
Yeah,
so we don't waste too much
sorry.
time. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know we be tangenting. Just hang on for the ride. All right. So when it comes to Game of Thrones, A, I love the show. B, I've read some of the books, but I'm obsessed with the show. C, I've heard people talk about it. D, literally, I've read and seen it all, and I can draw you a map of Westeros by heart. Or E, not my kind of thing.
It's A, because I tried to, like, I found, like, the first one, and I started reading it, but I just find George R.R. Martin's writing style to be too dense for my taste.
That's like, J.R.R. Tolkien. My sister read Tolkien, but I just thought it was too dense, too.
I could do Tolkien. Like, I actually read, I don't know if I read
you read
all
The Hobbit
of them, but I did read The Fellowship of the Ring, and I might have even have read The Two Towers. I think maybe I didn't end up reading.
Could you read Dune?
I probably could. I don't have any particular desire right now, but I probably
The movie
could.
will suffice. The movie suffice, honestly.
Pretty much. The movie will suffice for me.
Okay.
But it's just like, there's like, just like the Wicked books.
Wicked,
as in like the Wizard of Oz Wicked. Like, so, the Broadway one.
Okay.
I love the Broadway show. So
there's
I'm like,
books?
Yeah, it's like the Broadway is based off of a book by Gregory Maguire called Wicked: The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch or something like that. There's actually a few of them. It's like that goes into like this whole thing of like it's very political, like
about Oz and everything.
Yeah,
very
because like
I didn't know
Wicked
there was
Witch supposed
books.
to be like a revolutionary, so it's very political. But like because I loved the stage show, the musical so much, I was like, let me read the book, and then it was just too dense for my. I mean, it wasn't even the political thing. I can do that. I feel like if I read Hunger Games, depending on what the writing style looked like, I could probably do that. But it's just, it was similar to George R.R. Martin. It was too dense for me to really be able to enjoy it enough to continue.
What is it that makes it too dense? Is it that it, you know what?
Something about the writing style.
Is it the overload of information, or is it too wordy?
Maybe I think it's either one or both of those. I would have to take a look at it again.
Too much exposition, too much details.
It's not even exposition. It's just like I feel like sometimes maybe it's too much maybe it is too much detail, and it's like I would much prefer more plot here to help me with
maybe it's more telling than showing. Okay.
But I know a lot of people love it, but it's just not for me, that style.
The reading. I got you.
Yeah.
I prefer something that draws me into. That's why I like those two series I mentioned, Shadow and Bone and the Children of Blood and Bone. Both have bones in it. Yeah. But the writing in there is just, it's not dense. It's like really catchy.
Is not doing
it's
it anymore.
Paramount.
It moved to,
I was right. It was Paramount. I thought it was Disney, but it's Paramount.
Well, I mean, Lucas is part of Disney now, so we used to be, but they.
I like what she did with that because she decided that the author Tomi Adeyemi, she decided that
I thought it was a dude.
No, she's a girl.
Oh, okay.
And so she was not happy with what they were proposing. She wanted to write the scripts and do everything. So she really fought for. She's like, you know what,
I thought it was that they hadn't made enough progress, and she was like.
Yeah, that was it too. But then they also did not want her to. I was reading the rest of that, and they also did not want her to like write the scripts. And I think she wanted some more like she wanted to be more hands into it and stuff. So they were gonna have somebody else write the scripts or something. But it's like she also wanted something else. So I like that she was pulling for. I know she would have liked to work with them, but she liked that she. I like that she fought for what she wanted.
On like just talking about that type of thing in adaptation in general. It
hard.
Depends. Like if you are a good screenwriter. Then yeah, you could totally have written the book and also write the screenplay. If you're not good at that, then maybe you should let someone else write the screenplay and be a consultant. But if she's good at it, then yeah, definitely do it. Yeah. Or if she's never done it before but finds that she is good.
I still think it'd be better as a series, but hopefully they do the movie just because there's so much in those books. I don't know how they're gonna do it in one movie. All right, let's try not to tangent. We can finish this quiz. Okay, your memories of elementary school PE class are: A, terrible and tragic; B, I excelled more in the classroom; C, I like dodgeball days; or D, I was pretty awesome at PE.
I feel like I was decent at PE, but I also really liked the classroom.
Okay, so which one you want to pick? Because I need to pick one. I was pretty awesome at PE, or I excelled more in the classroom, or I like dodgeball days, which is what I picked.
I mean, even though I was good, I was actually, decently athletic, but I was better. I would say in the classroom. So let's go with the classroom one. I excelled more in the classroom because that's still true. Even though I was pretty good at PE, I excelled more.
Okay. This one is one that I'm not sure if you know. What is the correct number for pi to the 7th number after the decimal?
Oh gosh, I can only do to the second number, 3.14, and then after that, I don't know.
I'm gonna give you the choices. Actually, I'll say what I want to say after this. But okay. So A is 3.1415926. B is 3.1416935. Or C, 3.1415962.
I'm just going to do a crapshoot and just pick B.
Okay.
What was the right answer?
The right answer is A, actually.
Oh, okay.
But only reason why I know that is because we had like a pie contest in high school one day, and I wanted to win this contest. So I literally took this thing. We had to memorize so many digits past pi. So it's weird that I still know this much. I knew a little bit more back in the day, but excuse me, y'all. But it was... I remember I memorized so much of that because I wanted to win the prize and be like, all brainy and whatever. So all I remember now is 3.14159265356693238462664. That's all I know. I don't know how many decimals that is.
That is pretty impressive. But I mean, I can still remember stuff from elementary school. I remember musical things more easily. Like I can still remember like all of the states. I mean, the capital of all the states.
Well, I had to do it in like a sing-song way, so I could remember it.
They joined the union because we had like a song.
That's how I remember.
Delaware, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Trenton, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you
Boston,
so we can finish this because
Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay, Whitney, what's the next? The next question is: you enjoy learning new words and their meanings. True or false?
True. I love words.
Okay,
I'm sorry to nerd out. I'm gonna blur it out, you guys. Like, you know how they had those vocab books that they would give you?
I like vocabulary.
I loved the vocab book.
I like vocabulary
was so excited
too.
when we would get the vocabulary.
Yay, more words!
Which tells you exactly how much
that's why we're trying to find out the percentage, y'all. We're trying to find a percentage. Okay, don't squeal or tangent off this one. Okay.
All right.
You've seen at least one of the following: Firefly, Sherlock, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Battlestar Galactica. A, more like all of them. B, yes, definitely a few from the list. C, for sure at least one. Or D, none for me.
Ooh. Have I seen any episodes of Battlestar Galactica? Because it's yes to all the other ones, but Battlestar Galactica is the only one that's a question mark. Have I?
Well, you can pick definitely. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, so I couldn't say that.
I feel, was there a Battlestar Galactica movie?
I don't know.
Because, like, if so, then I probably saw, if there was a movie, then I have definitely seen the movie, which I'm going to count.
Oh, my goodness.
In which case I can say, like, all of them. Just give me like, 1 sec.
We don't have 1 sec.
You gotta,
You gotta be.
Baby,
Oh, my gosh. This episode's going to be long. Just because this quiz.
Battlestar Galactica. Let's see. The original one. There was a mini-series. Was freaking what's his name from
I don't know, because I didn't watch the show.
Because that guy, the one who was the voice of Ultron, who has that really
Josh Brolin, he might have been.
No, that Josh, you're thinking of Thanos.
Oh, my bad. Oh god, what was his name? I'm blanking on the names.
Because he's in the Blacklist.
Yeah, I know who exactly you're talking about, but I don't remember his name for some reason.
Because he was in the movie that I saw, and I'm trying to figure out if that was Battlestar Galactica.
I don't think he was in Battlestar Galactica.
Because there was a movie, and then they did a series after the movie, but I feel like it might have been something else, perhaps.
Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to just say B for you. Yes, definitely a few.
Okay.
Fine. All right. Are you a Star
if
Wars?
I find out later that
Whitney,
I have seen
let's finish the quiz.
I'm getting all of the points.
All right. Are you a Star Wars or Star Trek fan? Yes
Star Wars.
Or no? Yeah. No, it's saying, are you a fan of both? Yes or no?
Oh, well, I like the new movies of Star Trek, so I'll say yes.
Okay. It says for A, yes, don't even get me started, or B, no. That's what it says.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just go with A.
All right. You've had friends come to you for homework help. A, all the damn time. B, occasionally. C, with certain subjects. Or D, not really.
I mean, I wouldn't say people actually came for me for homework help. What were the choices again?
All
By the way,
damn time.
Just going back to that previous question, I saw Stargate, not Battlestar Galactica.
See, I told you it wasn't in it.
Okay.
All right. It was A, all the damn time. B, occasionally. C, with certain subjects. Or D, not really.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I was good at school, but nobody really came to me for homework help.
Okay. You've helped your parents or siblings with computer trouble. True or false?
True.
I knew
am IT support.
Yes,
for,
you are. Like, you're my IT person too. I mean, like, if I can't get usually I get Shashi to do stuff because she's very much into tech. But my sister, if I can't, I ask you. I'm like, Whitney, can you help me with this? Has anyone ever gotten mad at you for correcting their grammar?
Oh my God! Yes.
LOL, definitely.
Week, my mom.
LOL, definitely. Sometimes, yeah, or I don't do that.
LOL, definitely.
Me too. I do that all the
I
time.
don't do it too often anymore. I do it jokingly now, but yeah.
I used to do it all the time too.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a tattoo that most people would consider nerdy, but you think is rad as hell. A, yup. B, nah. Or D, when I get the money, I will have one.
I used to want a tattoo. I don't really, at this point, want one anymore. But if
So
I
nah.
did, it would have been rad.
Okay, so nah, or you want to, when you get money, you will have one.
Nah.
Okay. Have you ever sorted your friends into Hogwarts houses?
No, but I know what a lot of my friends are as far as what houses.
Okay, so it says yes, or we took the official Pottermore sorting hat quiz together, or nope.
We took the official part of it.
Okay, when it comes to Lord of the Rings, A, you bet I've read the books and seen the movies. B, I'm a fan of the movies for sure. C, I haven't seen the movies or read the books. Or D, I've only read the books.
A is what most closely goes for me.
I've read the books and seen the movies.
Yeah, I don't think I've read the Return of the King, all of that book, but I think I did read both of the first two.
I say that you read one is definitely good. Okay, so have you ever played any of the following video games? The Legend of Zelda.
Yes, I love that. That's my favorite series.
Halo, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy,
I love Final Fantasy.
or The Sims. So A is yes, definitely all of them. No, sorry. Yay. A is yes, all of them. B, definitely a few of these. C, I played 1 or 2, or D, none.
I would go with B. I think it's the closest. Okay. I love Legend of Zelda is my all-time favorite video game series, bar none. And then Final Fantasy is actually probably my second favorite.
Yep. I was like, I know you've already done some of these. All right, so you played a video game for 5 hours, 5+ hours that wasn't mentioned above. So it could be any video game that you played, but you played it for 5 hours. Is that true or false?
True.
Okay. Do you have a reading nook in your home? A, yes. B, God, I wish. C, no. Or D, does my couch count?
Can my couch or my bed count?
So you want to say, does my couch count? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my reading nook is either going to be my bed or my couch, wherever it's comfortable to read.
Okay, so you've played Magic the Gathering before. Yes, no, but I know of it, or nope.
No, but I know of it.
Okay, I didn't know what that was, Whitney, to be honest with you. I don't know what that is.
Huh. It's a card game similar to like Pokemon, except for it's like it's almost like Dungeons and Dragons, but with cards.
Okay. All right, so
but I've never played it.
Okay,
I'm just saying what I get the feel for it.
Okay, you've seen at least one Marvel or DC Comics movie. True or false? Of course.
True.
What are we doing today? Okay, so when it comes to comic books, A, I have so many plus collector's editions. B, I own my absolute favorites. C, I love them so hard. Or D, not really my cup of tea.
I actually like comic books. I don't actually collect them though, and if I
Me
do,
too.
I have a few graphic novels, but I'm not one to collect like shorter comics.
Yeah. So what would you like to put? I know I was having a problem with this one too. I forgot which one I put because I do like comic books, but I never had any of them except for Archie.
Oh wait, but I do have anime graphic novels.
I know, and I'm like, does manga and anime count?
I would say it's just a different region's comic book, so I would say yes.
Okay, so you want to say I own my absolute favorites, or I have so many plus collector's editions? Probably not that one.
I would say I own my absolute favorites.
Or I love them so hard. That's another option.
I would say I own my absolute favorites. I think that's the best.
Okay, so you have an absolute favorite book series that you tell everyone about.
I saw you
everyone about.
Just so y'all know, she was rolling her eyes.
I did. I threw that shade.
It's the exact one that I just bought from my friend Ty.
I already know what to put the answer. It's just true. It's just true.
To, read.
Okay.
And that is the Dark
I
Angel
think this
series,
is the last
yes.
question. You've cried when your favorite character in a book series died. Yes or no?
Actually, no.
You've never cried?
I don't think so. I've cried like in like a movie or something like that, like Pixar movies.
But like a book series. But think about books.
Yeah, I don't think I have actually.
Really? I was really like, I don't know. I was really sad when Sirius Black died. Oh my god, that was a killer. And when Dumbledore died too. Actually, Hedwig got me emotional for some reason. Because I was like, when I watched the movie, though, because it was just like, damn, they just killing folks off. It's like, Hedwig, we just know what kind of movie the last two are going to be. They're just dark.
All day. Everybody
just dark. Like, at the beginning of the movie, they murked Hedwig. I'm like, what the
Do you remember that commercial from, like, either the early 2000s or it was the 90s? It was, like, one of those, like, those old school phones where it was, like, the but they were like doing Hamlet.
Oh my
But it was
God.
like a 30-second Hamlet. Or maybe it was Romeo and Juliet. I can't remember. But they were like, Romeo, Juliet. And it was just like...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like faint in my mind. But it's a commercial, right?
Yeah, it's a commercial. If we can find it, you guys, we'll put it in the show notes. But it was just funny. But... So, actually, that was the wrong one, because I think they were doing Romeo and Juliet rather than
why are you
Hamlet.
bringing this up again?
Because I was thinking of Hamlet, because everybody dies.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Okay, maybe this is the last question. I hope it is. Have you ever spent hours in a certain fandom's online forum? LOL, yes. Maybe an hour, okay. And then, nope.
I've gone down a rabbit hole as far as articles, but not forums.
No forums? So, nope. You gonna do nope?
Hours on a forum. Oh, you know what?
If you let's say if Dark Angel ever had like a forum where people would just go and talk about the show or whatever. I mean, talk about the book and stuff.
I mean, I have spent like a good bit of time on like Twitter threads.
That doesn't count.
Okay, then I guess no.
Okay. All right. You've created a Tumblr or website geared towards your favorite fandom. True. No, but I follow my favorites, or nope.
No, but I follow my favorites.
Okay. You took honors classes in school. True or false?
True.
All right. Did you ever play an instrument in your school's band?
No.
Yes, okay, so no.
Yeah, I was only in 8th grade chorus, but I never played an instrument.
Okay.
Wait, does recorder count in elementary school?
No.
What about ukulele in elementary school?
No, the elementary ones don't count.
Okay.
Hermione Granger is basically your spirit animal. Yes. No, I wouldn't say so.
I wouldn't say so.
I feel like you're smart like her, though.
I'm not to the point that Hermione is, because I'm a little bit more Hufflepuff.
Gotcha. Okay, so
I'm more laid back than she is.
Okay, your parents / roommates have forgotten you were home because you were quietly reading. LOL, yes, this has happened to me, or this has never happened to me.
This has never happened to me, because, like, I've always been the person to be quietly reading. So my parents knew if it was quiet, it was fine. It was only if my brother was quiet that there might be problems.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Why is he quiet?
Okay, you've been at an independent bookstore before, yes or no?
Yeah, my mom used to take me and my brother to, I think it was Dave's Comics, to get like Pokemon cards, and I did actually get like a couple of actual comic books.
That's cool.
From there before they closed down.
I consider Second and Charles one too, because they got some books there. Anyway, all right, this is the last question. And finally, do you wear glasses? A, yes, I need them to see. B, no, I prefer contacts. No. B, I prefer contacts. C, nah, my vision is great. D, no, but I secretly wish I did. Or E, yes, sometimes when I don't want to mess with contacts.
What was A?
Yes, I need them to see.
A.
All right. You know what?
What?
This doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you basically got the same score I did. And I'm like, my sister got the same score I did. And I'm like, does this mean we're all like really nerdy, but in different ways? Or, okay, it says you got 94%, which is exactly what I got. It says you are definitely more geeky than not. You deeply identify with your particular Hogwarts house and actually enjoy learning new things. There's truly no shame in your nerd game.
That's right. There is no shame in my nerd game.
So we are 94% nerds.
Isn't there like what's his name? The guy who made like the funny songs.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah,
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, Weird Al.
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't there a nerdy song?
Yeah, his is like white and nerdy.
Oh, white and nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They see me rolling. They hating, patrolling, all because I'm white and nerdy. Trying to catch me. Oh, all because I'm white and nerdy. Then he's like, I'm on my Segway, something. And then he's like, I'm nerdy in the extreme, whiter than sour cream. I love that song. And you know what's so weird? I was just talking to my sister about this. I was like, Daniel Radcliffe is going to be in the biopic of Weird Al Yankovic's life. And I could not think of a worse choice. I have nothing against Daniel Radcliffe. I just like, I don't see it. I don't see you. You're very short. You don't have curly hair. You don't look like a Jew. I'm like, I don't see you playing Weird Al Yankovic at all. I don't know what's going on there.
Either, huh? But I feel like that song would apply to me except for the white part.
Mm-hmm. We should come up with a black and nerdy song. Like, we really should. I'm going to write that to show how black and nerdy you are. So I wanted to find one that talked about, like, black, but there wasn't one about black nerds. But I like that one because it was like, it doesn't matter if we're black. This is our nerddom. This is our fandom. And it had so many different things, different points in there where it talked about like, even like what's considered nerdy while you were at school. If people came to you, whether you did a music instrument, whether you liked PE or not. I just thought it was interesting how they put it in there. But we got the same score. Yay.
Giggity.
All right. So let us get into our show topic of the day.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Y'all, first impression, this movie blew my mind that I actually had to go to the theater and watch it a second time. and I didn't mind paying like full price. I mean, I watched it for like $5, but at a really good theater during the week. But I paid again to watch it with my sister later at a Regal, which is so expensive. But it was phenomenal. Like, I don't even know what to say. The Spider-Man movies always just up the ante, really. Each one has been better than the other one. And I'm loving it. And Doctor Strange is everywhere. Like, he's just everywhere. Him and Wong are like everywhere. I'm like, y'all here again? Like, they just in everything. Okay, so my first impression is that blew my mind. Like, blew my mind emoji. Bam. What about you, Whitney?
Yeah, it was phenomenal. And it was, I think of that phrase, cut to the chase, because that's basically what it was. Like, it starts out like where the
immediate rest, right?
Where the other one ended with
exactly.
like, everybody finding out, and it's like, so it starts right in the action, and it's like, what's going on? And I loved it. There was no pacing issues. It was like, it's
constant. Something was happening. Watching it.
It kept
even the sweet scenes.
Enthralled out all throughout the entire movie.
I feel like this one, there was like no excess. You know, where sometimes you watch some films and you could like, they could have cut this, or they could have done more. There was like no trimming of the fat. It was just like everything was succinct in this film. And I'm sorry to say, I knew that the villains from the previous Spider-Mans were going to be in this film, but I'm telling you right now, I was literally shocked out of my mind that they got Tobey Maguire and Andy Garfield. I was so blown away. You should have seen. I was squealing in the seat by myself because I was like I was squealing like a pig.
I was just in my mind watching like when they first appeared. Like, I love like Andrew Garfield.
Oh my god,
I
love him.
He's like crawling the wall. He's like, this isn't good enough. She's like, no.
He's like, this is enough. He's like, this is enough. Come on now.
And then the grandma's like, can you get that spider
web? Yes, that whole scene, the whole thing when they came in,
and
it was
like
great.
shooting, and she's like, can y'all get all the spider webs that y'all just shot up my house?
I love the grandma because she would just speak. I think it was Tagalog, which is because I think he's Filipino. Ned, I think they're Filipino. If I'm not, I'm sorry, but I really think they are because I think he is in real life too. But oh my gosh, that scene when they both came in, because I was like, okay, Andrew Garfield, but then I was like, they got Toby too. Toby with his old self. Oh my god!
I was like, when Toby came, I'm like, so you just stepping into portals? You don't know where it goes. This is just what we do now.
Well, because they were in the world, and I'm just like,
I could understand Andrew Garfield because they're like, they called him. They're like, Peter. He was like, oh, they called my name. That's right. Me. But then Toby's just like, oh, well, here's a random portal just opened up in the middle. I'm just going to step on right there.
Well, I guess he didn't mind because he's like, I'm not in my world anymore. I'm not in my world. Okay, so let's just talk about the story. Like, what can you say about the storytelling for this particular film?
It was awesome. I loved it. It was like, I loved how it was about... some of it was about loss. Well, definitely about loss, of course, towards the end. But then also about the kind of overarching theme of priorities. It was like it finally got to the theme of like the kind of the first couple of Spider-Mans. First one, like the Tobey Maguire one and Andrew Garfield. Because I think I was reading an article that talked about how up until this point, Tom Holland hadn't really lost anything. I mean, Tony Stark died, so that was like a loss for him. But he hadn't really
because there's no Uncle Ben in his story,
right? But
which is
then
an interesting
they
choice.
Made Aunt May into Uncle Ben, and then,
there's supposed to be both of them, which is why I wonder why they did that.
I mean, this is a multiverse, so in his he only had an Aunt May. But the thing, and I was talking about this with Todd, I feel like if I look at the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, and then look at this No Way Home, I felt like this hit me more than any of the Uncle Bens because Uncle Ben always died in the beginning. We never really got to know him.
Yes.
But since we got to know Aunt May,
yes.
Not only did, I mean, it always affected the character. Like Peter Parker, he was always crushed. But like as an audience member now,
I was like, come on now. I totally thought they were going to survive that.
Yeah.
Well, she was.
But now, like, as a viewer, I'm like, I am crushed.
Yes,
like,
I was super crushed.
Aunt May. I love her, and now
I love Marissa Tomei. Y'all don't mess with. Don't you know cousin Vinny? Anyway.
But like, yeah, I felt like it hit you more.
Yeah. The storytelling was
the
great.
audience member, because you've gotten to know her. Whereas in like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, you didn't really know Uncle Ben that well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
You
it's
just had
sad,
Aunt May, and Aunt May was out of the action.
It's like sympathetic rather than empathetic, because it's like, oh, that's sad someone died, but I didn't really know this character. But it's like, I've gotten to know this character.
It was like Uncle Ben was just a catalyst for the start of something
rather
for
than
Peter's
like his
story.
Own person.
Mm-hmm.
But like Aunt May is like her own person. You've gotten to know her.
Plus, her and Happy broke up too, and I was like, why? Y'all are so cute. You know what I felt like doing? After watching this, I wanted to hear that Creed song, My Sacrifice. Because I just thought about sacrifice. And that song was like, with arms wide open, under the sunlight. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Oh my God. I love that song. Because I was just like, my sacrifice. The sacrifice he had to make in this. I felt like he was, oh my God. My sister, I remember the second time that she watched it the first time. It was my second time watching it. And the whole car ride home, she was just like, I'm sad. I'm so sad for him. I'm so sad. Like, she just kept saying it over and over again, like, I'm so sad for Peter. How could he have done this? And then she's like, he's literally alone. And it was so sad at the end of it. Sad. It was.
You're right.
Such a sacrifice for the world.
Like, he's alone in the world.
He did cause it, but that's a big sacrifice for everybody to forget you. Oh my God! Even strangers will forget you
now. Like you have no type of
friends, no family. Nobody knows who you are. Even Happy rolled up. They rolled up to Aunt May's grave, and Happy didn't know who he was. I was like, at least he had Happy. He don't have Happy no more. Like, I just felt extreme, and then I felt like. His sacrifice was even more so like it was such a heavy weight that it made me appreciate his sacrifice even more, because it's like, you really alone, you really by yourself, you really did this to save the world.
I felt like this was his Tony Stark snap moment.
Yeah, girl, you better yes,
because like Tony Stark, you know, he was always I want. We do everything, but I need to be able to keep my family, be with my family. But he made that sacrifice so that he could save everyone, and Tony Stark was always kind of like self-involved.
Oh no, not kind of, always.
Yeah. So now this was like
changed
the ultimate selfless act, and now Tom Holland. Well, no, sorry, not Tom. Peter Parker, the Tom Holland Peter Parker. He wasn't self-involved, but he was like, He was always the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but this was his ultimate true hero moment. Like he gave everything.
He gave up his love, his best friend, his education,
any human connection. I mean, he can still forge community, but he gave up all relational ties in order to save the universe.
And I was like, that blew my mind. That I didn't know they could do something more than this Tony Stark snap from Endgame. I literally did not think they could do more, but this one did it for me.
There, yeah.
I was like, what? I mean, the Aunt May was that one, and then what he did there, and then this movie just had so many big juggernaut moments. You know,
I was so sad and frustrated with him about his decision.
Yes,
but I think it made the movie hit you more. The fact that he didn't do what MJ and Ned wanted him to do, which was come and make them know him again. Because he looked at them, he was like, look at them. They're doing fine without me. They're not in danger. They're not like...
And you know what? It's that scene. That's the part where he looks at her forehead again. And I thought that he was going to try to get back in there. But then he saw that and he was like, you're right, Whitney. You're right. That made him pause. And that's why he did it. And my sister was like, oh yeah, he's just concerned about her stuff. And I was like, no, but you're right. It's like, he paused there because he's like, you know what?
They're better off without me because they're not in danger. They're not getting freaking lives threatened by supervillains.
Can I also say that I did not know that this MJ was Michelle Jones and not Mary Jane? I thought she was Mary Jane too.
I knew. I think there was one. I don't know if it was the second movie or if it was maybe.
I didn't know her name was Michelle. First movie. I did not know her name was Michelle. I don't know why I didn't catch that. Maybe they said it and I just didn't. I missed it. Yeah. Zendaya was Michelle
I feel like
Jones.
Maybe it was in the second movie or something, but I feel like I did know before this movie that she wasn't Mary Jane.
She was, she was MJ. She was a different MJ,
but she was not Mary Jane.
Yeah, that made. I don't know if they had this in mind to do the. First of all, let me go back. So the one part that I was really pissed off about, because I love this character point of Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. I love that he was always down to help, to believe in the good in people, that brightness, that optimism. But I was like, why are you trying to save these villains? I was like, no. In my mind, I'm like, now, why would you try to save these villains? They don't even, you don't know them. You know, like, leave them alone. Let them go back to I wanted him to forget them and send them back home. I really did, because I was like, Peter, this is a bad idea. This is not going to go well for you. And I was right. And I was like, why did you do this?
I like that.
But it made for good story.
That point of the movie where at one point he was like, this is not my responsibility. Yeah, we should. But then it was his Aunt's May influence that like made him not.
The goblin is so vicious, man.
Nature versus nurture. He was like, he is his aunt's nephew. Like, her impact on him changed who he is. Like, I am going to be the person who, when other people give up on them, I am still going to offer them a second chance.
I know, it helped for some of them. It did. But I was just like, I knew they were going to turn, especially the goblin. I was like, don't trust his ass for nothing.
To me, the goblin and Dr. Octopus were the most sympathetic villains, because like
sympathetic for the goblin?
Yeah.
How?
He actually had a mental disorder. Like, the reason he was because of that is because he's like had like almost like a dissociative identity disorder. Like, if he was himself, you saw him. Like, once they did the serum for him, he was like, "What have I done?" That's not him. That was that other personality that
was
manifested as the goblin, huh?
Was it a personality though?
I feel like it was a chemically induced personality. Like, I feel like when he took the serum, it caused almost like a splintering of his psyche and created this
evil.
Because you saw when the goblin was not in control, that's not who he was. He was trying to help. He wanted help.
I'm not gonna lie to you. During this movie, I could not tell whether those times where he was meek and at the shelter with Aunt May, and I was like, is this the goblin? In my mind, I was like, is this the goblin or is this Osborn? I wasn't sure.
I would say it was Osborn, but I would say that the goblin was waiting for his chance and just kind of, I'm going to see how this plays out, and then I'm going to come back.
Okay.
I would say that
I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I knew he was going to turn.
The goblin was like, that coward, Harry, I mean. No, wait, not Harry. Harry is his friend. Norman. Norman is the father. He was like, that coward Norman. I sat in the back watching him just be a coward and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I would say that actually was.
Can I just say it was awesome to see all the villains again?
It was really awesome.
Was the Sandman in Tobey Maguire? Is the Sandman in Tobey Maguire, or is he?
I think he was in the third, like near the end of the third Tobey Maguire.
So Jamie Foxx, Electro, and the Dr. Lizard one were in Andrew Garfield's movies,
right?
And the other three were in Tobey Maguire movies. Okay,
right. But like, one thing I wanted to get before I forget, like the reason I also say Dr. Octopus is because Octavius was another. To me, he was like. It was something that caused him to be like that. Like the chip
not working.
Was not working, so the things took over his mind. But once that was fixed, he was like, he's not a villain. He was just like, there was like a issue caused by this thing. And same thing with Norman. Whereas you look at, well, actually probably for the lizard guy as well, because probably the lizard thing messed with his head and turned it into a lizard brain.
I think they were all messed with, to be honest with you.
I don't know about Jamie Foxx.
He was greedy.
Or the Sand Dude, because the Sand Dude, he had his faculties, but he just decided at one point, you know what? F all this.
Yeah, because his whole thing was like, I want to go home. I'm not home right now. I want to be with my family. But then again, they were defeated. So it was like they were going home to die. And it was weird. It was like they took them just out of the time when they were about to die fighting Spider-Man. Which brings me to a point that I thought was hilarious. So Jamie Foxx, I love Jamie Foxx's comedic timing. He was like, they're all talking about what happened to them right before. He was like, no, I wasn't about to die. I was absorbing all this energy, blah, blah, blah. Oh shit, I was about to die. Yes. Can we talk real quick about the relationship with Doctor Strange? And I love Doctor Strange's interjections and I've loved him in everything so far. Like anywhere he's in, I just love Doctor Strange's character so much. Except for when I was like, why couldn't you restart the spell over? Just like cancel all that and be like, we're gonna cancel all this and like let the little boy speak. Be like, okay, Are you done with the amount of people? Are you done with the amount of people? And now we can do the spell. Because I was like, what happened?
Well, maybe it was the type of thing where once he started, he couldn't. Because otherwise, I think he would have just stopped.
Maybe. I just was like, man. And then their fight scene was awesome. Their fight scene was amazing.
Like, Parker versus like, Strange. Yeah, that was
I thought it was so cool that even though he was in the projection thing, not the mirror dimension, but the part where he like projected him out of his body, but he was still Spider-Man was still
moving the thing out of his.
So if you ever
doing this, he was like, I know that was
to me it was like me and my sister was like, so if you ever question Spider-Man's ability, he put him down for a bit. He put Doctor Strange down for a while. He was like just like Loki was like, I've been falling for 30 hours, 30 minutes. He was like, I was hanging over the canyon for 12 hours. I was like, Dr. Strange, couldn't you have taken yourself down from there? But at least we know, hey, he can hold his own with some of these other worldly magic, everything.
And I love how he's like nerddom coming through for the win. He was like, this is geometry.
Yes, that was so great, right?
He was like, I can do this.
I thought it was great. And I liked how in this particular one, there was more concentration on not all these excess other characters, but he really honed in on who matters to Peter. It was MJ, it was May, and it was Ned. You know, and I like that those two played...
Oh,
and Happy. And I liked how Ned and MJ played even more integral roles in this one.
I love it. And I love their like teamwork. They're like, how about next time we problem solve together?
That was so practical. I love MJ for that. She's like, let's just do, and then she just said it like it was like casual, but you know, it's like, nah, I wish you had said that earlier and we could have avoided all this BS.
Yeah. And oh my God, it was so hilarious to me where he was like, so you did everything you could. You called the admissions office. He was like, called them. I can call him. He was like, you didn't tell me that you came here and he wanted me to like bend the universe in half.
Doctor Strange comebacks.
Call them to plead your case.
Doctor Strange comebacks was like, you stupid. I was like, I can get you a little boy, you know? He's like, I just gotta. My favorite line was like, you know, let's go and Scooby-Doo, and it's like, Scooby-Doo that shit. Because he was talking because he's like, they're kids. And I was like, Doctor Strange, your lines sometimes are just hilarious. You just like the sarcasm. He was just hitting it. I love Benedict as Doctor Strange.
I love him too. And
he's
I love
caring
like, his
too.
Interaction with Wong. He was like, and Peter's like, I thought you were the Sorcerer Supreme. He was like, I would be, but I was
blipped for 5 years. So Wong was like, I'm the one in charge, okay, bitch? So I just love that Doctor Strange, he cares a lot though. He's so knowledgeable and everything, but he stripped all that arrogance he used to have is stripped down. So it's like now he's just the smart, you know, magical one. He does really care. Like, even though he still got some of his little wry humor and everything, but I liked his position and how he was like, I'm still going to try to help this young man. And then even at the end, he was like, he came in just in time at the end to help save everybody. I was like, really, Doctor Strange? But at least you came, you know?
And you know what? I remember you were talking about like the what if like tie-in. So I actually did. That was one of the things I wanted to make sure I did. I did watch all of What If, which I loved, by the way.
Oh,
but like when like the universe was getting all fractured and stuff, and you could see figures, I thought that one of the figures was going to be the Watcher, but then it wasn't. Or maybe, but like I really thought that the Watcher was going to be one of the ones like the figures, because you can really see
some. Yeah, you couldn't really see, but I know I saw outlines of some scary stuff, and I was like, oh no, they can't all roll up to they can't all roll up to New York. It'd be terrible.
And I wonder if I think it is a direct tie-in. What If is supposed to directly tie in? Because I know, like, the very, very end of the credits scene, when they're doing, like, the Doctor Strange preview for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I can't wait.
They have, like, the dark Doctor Strange.
Which we saw in What If. That's why I said watch What If, because you can see it.
And I'm like, oh, snap. Is Dark Doctor Strange coming to be like, dude, you going too far. You just stepping over. You just willy-nilly. And
now we're going to see that arrogance come back. But I can't wait for that. I'm just excited because we're also going to see Miss Marvel. And my girl Wanda's coming back. I can't wait because I miss Wanda.
I know, I do love Wanda.
I miss, what's her name? what is her Scarlet Witch? Thank you.
Mm.
I do miss that. Wong was great. All the fight scenes. Okay, so the interactions between all the Peters. Okay, this is another reason why it got so emotional for me, because it's like, oh my god, this is the first time you saw that like visceral kill action in like, I don't care, I'm so hurt, I'm gonna kill you thing in a superhero that could like, that you would think he can't be pushed to the edge, but he was so mad that she died.
Everybody has a breaking point.
Yeah, and I was like, but Tom Holland acted the mess out of that. Like, I have to give him props for that, because I really believed him. And the fight that him and the Goblin had on that little piece of debris that was there, it was just like, wow.
And I love
was
that
glued
they
to
didn't
it.
have Toby say anything to him, because like
just the look.
He just looked at him, and I feel like if they had put some type of line there, it wouldn't have been nearly as powerful as him just looking at him.
Like a Nicki Minaj song. Just give me that look, and then give me that look. You know?
Yeah. But he just looked at him, and he knew from the look. Like, dude, you're gonna go to the point where you're not.
It was sad. It was so heartbreaking, because I was just like, oh man, he was doing good. My sister kept saying, hit him with the DDT. And because he like flipped him and everything, I was like, this guy should be dead, because like Peter was going in on him, he was going ham on him, and I was like, oh my god, Peter's gonna kill this guy, but they did not let him kill him. And the Brotherhood of Peters was just,
I loved it.
Oh my god, it was amazing to behold.
I love how like brotherly, the camaraderie.
Yes,
and then like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. No, I think you've got to understand.
Yes, the pep talk. Yes, I loved it. I loved it. I was like, no, amazing Spider-Man, you are amazing. And it would make sense like that Andrew Garfield one, he was kind of self-deprecating. So I love that they encouraged him. He was so emotional. I just love Andrew Garfield. I really do.
Like, I always wanted brothers.
He made me want to cry every time. And then my favorite part, one of my favorite parts was when he saved MJ.
Oh my god, I was just about to talk about that. Like,
yes, let's talk about it.
Because like that was such a redeeming. Because I remember watching that movie, and when that happened, I was so traumatized.
Yeah, because he how can he lose the girl? Like, how?
But then I also appreciated that movie, because like a lot of these things, movies, not just the Spider-Man movies, but a lot of these movies, like the physics of it, you're like, no,
somebody should have been right.
When people jump from those really high cliffs, it's like, no, from that height, like water's like rock.
Yeah,
like you would have been broken up, or maybe dead. So like, just because it's water, that doesn't mean you can just jump from however high you want. So like the fact that he saved her at the last minute, but because of like the whiplash, I'm like, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that would happen. It's like when we don't think about these things, like when people get saved at like the last minute, it's like, no, the whiplash would have like broken them. And I'm like, but that was such a, I love that. It was like a redeeming moment.
Yeah, that's how I felt like it was. Now, he was even crying. And I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, why is he crying though? Or maybe he's just full of emotion. And then I kept thinking about Tick, Tick, Boom, because I was like, maybe it was because he did Tick, Tick, Boom and he was so emotional as Jonathan Larson, the creator of Rent, that I was like, maybe when he would do. And you know what's so funny? It was to me because Andrew Garfield, he's such a so in touch with his emotions very well, and he speaks so well. And I just love. I have a thing for white British dudes. I don't know what it is. I love them. Anyway, you can be on my list now. I'm adding to the list. But I just loved the interactions they had. I loved how they talked about their different lives, and I love that they stayed with their own parts. Like they didn't try to be like mix it up. I loved the whole part where they saw Toby shoot the stuff out of his wrist, because that's what they did in the original Toby movies.
I don't have that. He was like, "Can you tell us?"
They were like, "Whoa,
we have to make our own cartridges. We got to refill it."
Exactly.
And he was like, "I don't really want to talk about it."
And I was like, "Why?" Because we were just like, we don't know how you do it either. And then that whole part where they were like pointing to each other, I feel like they were really trying to do the meme that everyone goes around. I was like, come on, y'all. But you gotta love the Marvel movies, because they know how they're just on it when it comes to the pulse of the culture. So I feel like they put some of these points and things in there because they know what people are want. They know what people would see. They know that we would recognize it, you know? And it was just so well done. I'm like, I don't even know what else to say. There were so many parts. So many things. I love the redemption of Dr. Octopus. Like, Alfred Molina was just amazing.
He was.
I mean, for reals. I feel like there wasn't enough Reese
like,
in there for me, though.
I don't see him in too much stuff, but I think I just know that he's just a really great actor. But he is just, like, really, He is. He was.
There wasn't enough of the lizard to me. He wasn't really that big. Reese Ifrons is a Welsh actor. He played the lizard the first time, but I was like, he wasn't in it that much to me, and I was like, y'all could have gave him some more lines. But I know there's a lot of people in this film.
But I felt like I got a good sense of the people who were most important. Like, the lizard wasn't as, like, big of a thing, but you, like, got a good sense of Electro. You got a good sense of Dr. Octopus for sure, and the Green Goblin for sure, and Octopus, Green Goblin, Electro. The Sand Dude, the Sand Dude and the Lizard Dude weren't as big in the other movies anyway, so, like, it was an appropriate amount of screen time. But I felt like you could keep up. If you already had seen the other movies, you could keep up with it. Whereas, and this is, like, coming down, we're eventually going to do an episode on this movie, you guys, but, like, Eternals, it was hard for me to keep up with people's names. Like, you know, like,
I know all the names. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. Okay. But, like, you know, there are some movies, ensemble movies, that make it easier for you than other ones. And this one it was an ensemble, but I felt like people had an appropriate amount.
It also helps time if you say it enough. But they didn't in that one, but we'll talk about that another time. But, so my thing is, what do you think this means for what implications do you think this has for the rest of Marvel's movies going forward? What do you think?
Well, Marvel's movies, I mean, I think it'll give them the opportunity to do some really cool stuff, kind of like what if stuff, but maybe in the movie form. But I think I read an article that talked about that they were going to not reboot, but, like, continue with Andrew Garfield's.
Yes, everyone's been talking about that. And I'm like, yeah, because he didn't get 3 movies, and he should have. I always wondered why they didn't do 3 movies for him.
Well, I mean, the second one was...
People didn't like it as much, but I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it, but I could see why people weren't as into it.
Okay. I liked it. I didn't have a problem. But again, I liked...
I also love the fact that in Jamie Foxx, he was like, look at me in this world. He's like...
I'm not blue.
Look at me. He was like, you just
that was one of the things Jamie Foxx said in the interview. He was like, I was so happy because I didn't have to be blue in this one.
But I'm talking about his, like, non-electro self, because you know, otherwise he had like the weird hair
the weird and the weird look.
He was like, I like how I am in this universe.
He wanted to stay.
He was like, he's Jamie Foxx me in this universe.
And I like how he was like, when he saw Peter again, he's like, I was just hoping you'd be black. And I was like, I'm pulling to the
Andrew Garfield.
My bad, Andrew Garfield. That's what he was saying. And I was like, that made me laugh so bad. I was like, yes.
I was like, that's funny. That was funny.
That made me. I was like, yes, let's do it for the blacks, because I loved Into the Spider-Verse. I love Miles Morales. I can't wait for them to do some more.
Spider-Man. But honestly, I don't need it, because Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was phenomenal. It was just...
I think they're going to do another one, though.
I do know that they are going to do another one, but, like, honestly, that movie was perfect.
So what do we think is going to happen to our Tom Holland Peter Parker? Because he just left us with some devastation. I'm just like...
People were saying different things. Like, I was reading different articles about it where he was saying, like, you know...
I mean, like, do you think he would be able to...
This is also a good ending point for me, too.
Do you think they were going to, like, have him try and get some of these connections back? So there's some people that know about him. There's some family, some sense of someone he can talk to, turn to. Or is he going to be like the lone Spidey, like, you know, who's troubled and having to constantly save everybody and then, you know, disappear?
I think he's going to go it alone for a while.
You think so?
I think he is. Because I think the whole reason he made the choice he did was because he saw how his life was affecting
impacting everybody around him.
And
his choices,
like,
too.
Dr. Strange made a good point. He was like, you're trying to have everything. You can't have everything. You have to make a choice.
And then I think somebody in there said that you need to think about the consequences of your actions. Somebody in there said that, I think. But I like that they put the Aunt May saying that same phrase that Uncle Ben told the other two. And about I think is it with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. And it just it hit in a different way in this movie than it did in the other Spider-Man movies.
Hit different. You wouldn't know that song, but everybody else who listens to pop music would. Everybody know that's Ty Dolla song. Hit different. Anyway.
Sorry. But it hit in a different way. I mean, it was like, you know, it's like the Spider-Man catchphrase. Everybody knows it because it's a great quote. But it just, I felt like it hit me more.
The movie hit in general.
It did.
I just was like astounded, and I couldn't stop. It was like my eyes was up, and the fight scene between all the three of them, and I don't know, the people who coordinate and plan these things out. It's just some genius work. Like, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
On another thing. When he was like, this is like not going well. He was like, well, we always work alone. He was like, well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I was part of the Avengers. And they're like, oh, the Avengers, that's amazing.
They were like, what's
rock
that? Because they didn't get into that in those worlds.
It was like, we don't have an Avengers in our world.
Oh, it's hilarious to me. I just think it's hilarious. Oh, man. I wanted to bring up one other point. Oh, yeah. Did you know that Ned's character, he's actually from the comic books. Because, remember the part where he was like, kept saying that my Nona thinks I'm magic,
Mm-hmm.
And then he was able to open the portal, even though he didn't realize he just had the right ring on, and he was using the wrong hand at one point, but it still opened.
But but it took Doctor Strange a long time to learn how to open the portal. So
I still remember that jab. I still remember that jab that he's like, sometimes I have a tingling in my hand. He's like, consult your doctor.
That was funny.
And he was a doctor. And I'm like, I was like, really, Steven? Really gonna carry him like that? Because he's like, you kids, get out of my face. But the funny thing is, Ned is in the comic books.
I just thought about something, another parallel.
Did you know about that? That
I didn't know.
And then his character ended up becoming and having powers and stuff later on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But he also does come to fight him and stuff. He becomes an enemy. Man. So I hope that doesn't happen.
He was like, I'll never turn into a villain.
I know, but then that was before everything went down. So what if Ned does? I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna have a whole Harry thing again. You know what I mean? What was your other point, Whitney?
I was thinking about the parallel between What If and
the What If TV series for Disney Plus
TV series and Spider-Man, because like the Dark Doctor Strange, he wanted everything, and that's what caused it. Like even
she kept dying. She just kept dying.
Rachel McAdams' character was like, why did you do this? Like, this is not what I would have wanted. But he tried to have everything. Now, even though it wasn't this Doctor Strange, it was like the other multiverse Doctor Strange. I felt like it was very similar. It seems like this, like the troubles happen for Peter because he tried to have everything. And it's like, you can't have everything.
Yeah. He should have just left it at let everybody forget. And then he could have just told him. That's what I was saying. It's like, just let everybody forget. And then you can tell your buddies again. Like, that's why I don't know why anyway, but then we wouldn't have a movie. But I was just like, why didn't he just think of that? Like, anyway. But that's, again, that wouldn't have made a movie. But this one, a lot of people loved this film. I thought it was.
It was amazing.
I thought it was just fantastic. Like, I can't say much. It's like I can't keep talking about it because it's just like I can't stop talking about it because it's just like you could talk about every little thing. It was just amazing from the beginning to end. I didn't have any problems.
I thought of one thing. I loved the not the after credits end scene, but the end scene like
with
right
Venom.
With Venom.
That's the only thing that I did not get because I did not watch Venom because I don't like Venom. I liked Venom in the Tobey Maguire one.
Funny, though.
People said it. Is it? I have to watch it now?
I haven't seen the second one, Let There Be Carnage, because I think Todd's seen it. He was saying there was a lot of head decapitated or whatever, but they don't like show it, but it's a lot of that. But I enjoyed Venom. Venom was actually kind of fun. It was like a buddy cop movie. You would probably actually like Venom.
I like the actor too who plays him.
And I like the fact that they like threw that in.
It was funny.
Because you're like, so he's just not here? But then he was just here chilling at the little tiki.
Yeah, and then I remember when they did Venom in the Tobey Maguire ones, and it was Topher Grace that played Venom. And I just thought I remember I liked that, but I thought it was creepy, but I did like it. Especially when he became like emo. Tobey became emo Spider-Man, that dance and everything. We're like, my God. Who told you to do that?
When they did it for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that was so hilarious what he was doing. That was so funny.
Oh my gosh. But that little part with Venom, I was just like, what is going on right here? And it was like, is Venom not part of the universe? That's what I didn't know. Like, is he part of another universe?
I think that was like the question people had, but now they're like, because they're like, oh, well, Venom's not in here. But then it's like, oh, he was actually here the entire time. He's just not in there, like, trying to fight everybody. He's in this random other place, just drinking.
Because I couldn't tell where he was. I was like, what is he? And then where did he disappear to?
Was that Danny Rojas?
Yeah, I don't know. He looks just like him, doesn't he?
It did look like him.
I feel like I've seen that guy.
I was like, is that Danny
Yeah,
Rojas?
I don't think so, but they look exactly alike. But we would have to look and see because I could not. I remember after watching Ted Lasso, I was like, is that him? It looks
really
like him, but I feel
him.
like that's another actor that might have just a similar face. But we will double check on that for y'all.
Yeah, because for you guys, you guys should check out Ted Lasso. It's so good. But like one of the actors from Ted Lasso, who is one of my favorite characters because he's so upbeat and he's like, football is life. But every time he comes out, he's like singing his own little theme song to himself. He's like,
who does that? I should just do that. I have a triple F queen rap. I should just do that every time. Be like, ba 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 ba. So I grab my purple bag and I walk on the street, feeling so good because I'm loving me. I fun, finding fabulosity, and you don't want to mess with the triple F queen. I should just do that all the time.
You would need a shorter version though.
I know. I would just sing the whole thing, the whole little chorus I made. And you want to get down with the triple F queen.
But it was like, because I was like, is that Danny Rojas?
It looks like him. It might be, honestly. I'm going to have to check his credits.
Yeah.
Because that could have been him.
It could have been.
Yeah. So let's rate, because I know we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go first.
All right.
I'm going to do it with drama. Like I'm on Dancing with the Stars. Judge, triple F queen, what do you give it? 10 glasses. I always love that part of Dancing with the Stars.
No tagline, Whitney. What do you give it?
Bing.
10 glass. I was trying to be. What's his name?
Who?
I think he's actually gay. I don't know if they changed the.
Bruno. Oh yeah, Bruno. Yes, he always does extra, and he's like, he's like every time he's saying something, it's like he's making love to whatever response he's trying to be like, just get to it, and stop making us all horny. You know what I mean?
But yeah, Bruno's one of my favorites.
I like him on that show, but yeah, he does. He's like so seductress, so sensual. He's just like, oh my god, that little Italian man.
Yes,
I love him too. At least you're not like the other one, the Simon Cowell British one. Why do all the British ones have to be like the mean ones on those shows? Anyway, we give Spider-Man No Way Home, which is very fitting. The title really made sense. Like. We give it a full 10 glasses, y'all.
10 glasses, y'all.
Y'all need to watch it if you haven't. I mean, if you have, you should be listening anyway.
You know what? When you said it, I was like,
yeah, he really had no way home.
Yeah.
They just did the thing in this movie. Even like when they went to the school and the teachers were like divided and everyone was like.
That was part of the things that like really hyped it up even more because it's like the real life part is really what's affecting him the most.
It made me think of now and all the vaccine issue where you have the divided country right now where you have these people saying this. They're like, I think he did it. And then I was like, nah, I think, I believe, what was the other one? What was his name? Magneto, no. Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, yes. They were like, I believed him. Yes. They were like, I believe him. I was so mad at the other teacher. He was like, I believe him. And then the other one was like, how could you say that? Be quiet. And then he made like a shrine to him in the school.
He was like, the kids made it like, no, you put it together.
And then the other one was like, tell everybody I'm your best friend, even though I got into MIT and you did. I was like his other friend, and I thought they were gonna have him be more in the.
Really, they're Flash Thompson.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna have more in that.
Supposed to be
a villain,
Flash
right?
Thompson is Venom.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe in there. I thought they were gonna do more with that, but they never did.
The Venom that was at the Tiki thing, he's like that universe or the Venom user.
It's weird.
I don't know if Venom is in one of the Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire universes or not, or if he's.
He was never in the Andrew Garfield one.
Well, I know he wasn't in those movies.
Oh,
but I'm wondering if he's in that. In their multiverse, in their universe or whatever.
All I have to say is I would love to see Mr. Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield again in his own little universe. But the problem is it going to be a Sony movie or is it going to be Marvel MCU?
It's Sony.
It's always gonna be Sony.
Well, I mean, because Sony still owns the rights to make the Spider-Man movies. It's just that they made a deal with Disney so that essentially they would make movies with them, so he could be used. But yeah, Sony still owns the rights to be able to make Spider-Man movies.
So if they make more in just Andrew Garfield's universe, that'll be good. That'll be cool. I'll be down for that. All right, y'all. So that's our very long episode today. We may need to cut it, Whitney.
No. This is just for y'all. Something special.
Some extra. All right, y'all. We are blurting out. We will catch you guys in the month of love. And the month of Black Power. Okay. February. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Blurred out. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other blurred and non-blurred family and friends. And if you like our episode, please rate and review us on iTunes.
The intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud. The username Caption, spelled CAPSHUN. The show notes are by Bola, Hanson, and the audio engineering is by Whitney Booker.
And you can contact us by email at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to get social, you guys. You can find us on our social media at Instagram and Twitter, with our @handle being @blerdtalkbw. And we've got our individual things going on too, y'all. So you can find me, your Blurred Fashionista, on Instagram and Twitter at BolaStoryB. That's B with 2 E's like the insect. And I've got my own personal YouTube channel, just Bola Sade. That's BOLASHADE. D as in dog, E as in elephant.
And this is Whitney. You can find me at my company, Luminavi Studios. The email address is wit@luminavi.com. That's WHIT@LUMENAVI.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Luminavi Studios.